Have you ever heard whispers of the spirits that wander the misty mountains of Stories told in hushed tones around a crackling fire, tales that send a shiver down your spine. This is one of those stories, a true account of a girl named Anchika, and the chilling entity that followed her home. Our story begins with Anchika, a bright, bubbly girl from Delhi. Like many of us, she loved to travel, to explore new places. This year, she and her family decided on a trip to the serene, majestic hills of Uttarakhand. They visited ancient temples, hiked through lush green forests, and breathed in the pure mountain air. They even took a dip in the holy waters of the Ganges. It was a perfect family vacation, filled with laughter and beautiful memories. Little did they know, they weren't coming back alone. The trouble started almost as soon as they returned to Delhi. Anchika, who was always so full of life, suddenly fell ill. It began with a high fever that no medicine could break. Doctors were baffled. All her tests came back normal, yet her condition worsened day by day. Sigre weak, her eyes lost their sparkle, and she would often stare blankly at the ceiling for hours, muttering to herself in a language her parents couldn't understand. Her once cheerful room now felt cold and heavy. At night, strange things started to happen. Objects would move on their own. The lights would flicker violently. Her parents would hear faint, raspy whispers coming from her room, even when she was fast asleep. One terrifying night, her mother walked in to find Anchika levitating a few inches above her bed, her body contorting in unnatural ways. Her voice, when she spoke, was not her own. It was deep, guttural, and filled with an ancient rage. It was then that a dreadful realization dawned upon them. This was not a medical illness. This was something far more sinister. Desperate and terrified, Anchika's family started seeking answers beyond modern medicine. An elderly relative, upon hearing the symptoms, went pale with fear. She whispered a name that struck terror into their hearts. Masan. Masan, she explained, is not just any spirit. In the folklore of the Himalayan region, Masaan are powerful, malevolent entities born from the ashes of cremation grounds. They are restless souls, often of those who died a violent or unnatural death, and they latch onto the living, draining their life force until there's nothing left. They are particularly drawn to places of spiritual significance, like the rivers and temples in Utah. The family realized with horror that Anchika must have picked up this entity during their trip, perhaps during her dip in the holy river. The spirit had attached itself to her, a dark passenger from the mountains. Their hope now lay in the world of the unseen, the realm of tantra and mantra. Their search for help led them to a renowned tantra expert, a man who had dedicated his life to dealing with such supernatural afflictions. When he entered their home, he immediately felt the oppressive, negative energy. He confirmed their worst fears. Anchika was indeed possessed by a powerful Masan. He explained that this was a battle not just for Anchika's body, but for her very soul. The expert began his rituals. He created a protective circle around Anchika, with holy ash and salt. He chanted ancient mantras, his voice a powerful drone that seemed to push back against the darkness in the room. The entity fought back. The house shook, windows rattled, and a terrifying, inhuman scream echoed from Anchika's throat. She thrashed and writhed, her eyes glowing with a faint, eerie light. The air grew thick, with the smell of sulfur and decay. The expert's initial attempts were strong, but the Masan was older and more powerful than he had anticipated. It clung to Anchika, refusing to let go. After a grueling session that lasted hours, the expert admitted he needed more help. The entity was too deeply entrenched. Defeated but not hopeless, the family was directed to a secluded ashram, nestled deep in the Aravalli hills. There lived a powerful Baba, a sage known for his ability to communicate with and command spirits. He was their last resort. They traveled to the ashram, carrying a frail and barely conscious Anchika. The Baba was an old man with kind eyes that held an ancient wisdom. He looked at Anchika, and for the first time, someone seemed to see past the monster and into the soul of the terrified girl trapped within. He didn't use loud chants or dramatic rituals. He simply sat before her, closed his eyes, and began to meditate. The room fell silent. A strange calm descended. The Baba began to speak, his voice soft but firm. He wasn't speaking to Anchika, but to the entity within her. He spoke of peace, of release, of moving on. He didn't command or threaten. He reasoned with the spirit. He told the Masan that its time in the mortal realm was over, that holding onto Anshika would only bring more suffering to them both. He offered it a path to liberation, a way to find peace. Suddenly, Anshika's body went rigid. A blood-curdling shriek tore through the silence, a sound of pure agony and rage. The entity was making its last stand. The lights in the ashram flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. A cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the oil lamps. In the pitch black, they could only hear Anshika's guttural roars, and the Baba's calm, steady voice, offering solace to a tortured soul. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. Anshika's body slumped forward, and she let out a long, deep sigh. The oppressive weight in the air lifted. The temperature in the room returned to normal. When the lamps were relit, they saw Anshika, sleeping peacefully for the first time in weeks. Her face was pale and gaunt, but the dark presence was gone. The Baba had done it. He had convinced the Masan to leave, to continue its journey into the afterlife. Anshika's recovery was slow. She had no memory of the past few weeks, of the dark entity that had used her body as a vessel. To her, it was all a lost time, a gap in her memory she couldn't explain. But for her family, it was a nightmare they would never forget. They had stared into the abyss and, with faith and the help of ancient wisdom, had pulled their daughter back from the brink. This story serves as a chilling reminder. The world is full of mysteries we don't understand. The lines between our world and the next are sometimes thinner than we think. So the next time you travel to a place steeped in history and folklore, be respectful. Be mindful. You never know what you might bring back with you in your memories, or what might follow you home in the shadows. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the dark side. Stay safe out there. Anshika's parents began to cry. It's so hard to find anything. The Baba said, "Look, have courage. I have one last solution. But for this, you have to sacrifice a goat and offer some money to the spirit Masan." "What are you saying, Baba?" "Yes, a big goat. If this Masan isn't satisfied, it will not leave your daughter." The family arranged for the goat without delay. That night, a ritual began in the temple. The Baba started chanting mantras, with Anshika seated in front of him. But she was screaming again and again, her voice shaking the entire temple. Then, the Baba gave Riesh a look. Later, Rishes brought a plate of red meat and wine and placed it in front of Anshika. Seeing this, Anshika calmed down a bit, her eyes filled with a lust for the meat and wine. The Baba said, "You see this? I know you haven't tasted it in years, but I will give you all of this today." Anshika reached her hand toward the plate of meat, but the Baba pulled it back. "Why won't you give it to me?" "Give it to me quickly. I can give you this meat and wine on one condition. You must leave this girl's body." At this, anger was clearly visible on Anshika's face. "Choose," the Baba said, "this girl's body or this flesh. I want that meat and I want the wine. After that, I will leave this girl's body." The Baba then pushed the plate of meat toward Anshika. She grabbed the meat with both hands and began to devour it like an animal. Watching her, it seemed as if she had been starved for years. She ate continuously, without stopping. The scene was absolutely terrifying. In no time, she had eaten all the meat, after which she immediately fainted. "Baba, what happened? Why did my daughter faint?" "Don't panic. She is perfectly fine now." The Baba sprinkled some water on Anshika's face, and she regained consciousness. She looked terrified. "No, don't touch me. He will take me." "Calm down, daughter. You are safe now." Hearing this, she finally calmed down. Anshika looked a little better, but there was still fear in her eyes. "Masan has accepted the sacrifice," the Baba announced. "Your daughter is perfectly fine now, but listen to me. Never visit this place again, otherwise Masan will return." "Thank you, Baba, you saved my daughter." The family paid their respects to the Baba and returned to Delhi. A few days passed, and Anshika was now completely recovered, but a question lingered in her mother's mind, bothering her constantly. "What is it? Mom, why do you look so upset? I'm perfectly fine now, but I still see you looking worried. Daughter, what happened to you is still stuck in my mind. Even today, my heart aches remembering those events. It all started after you came back from your trip. But what happened on that trip that caused all this? And Shika tried to recall the past events. Mom, when we all went for trekking in the Kalig Hills for the office trip, Prerna encouraged me to go get some good photographs. She led me into the middle of the forest, saying she knew a great spot. We were clicking photos, and then I realized Prerna wasn't around me anymore. I was calling her name, Prerna. Where are you? How long are you going to hide like this? Come out. Don't joke around. We have to go back. I thought she was just playing a prank on me, but then I heard a strange sound from behind. As soon as I turned around, a horrifying figure was standing right in front of me. I don't remember anything after that. Hearing this, Anshika's mother, Sunita, became suspicious of Purna's motive. She immediately went to Purna's house with her daughter. Anshika, what a surprise to see you, Purna said, feigning shock. Why? Are you not happy to see that I'm well? No, it's not like that. I was just shocked to see you after so long. How much more will you lie? I know that everything that happened to me that day was because of you. Tell me the truth. Why did you do all this to me? Hearing this, a terrible laugh escaped Purna's lips. Because I hate you. I hate you so much. You became everyone's favorite in the office. Everyone from the boss on down was always singing your praises. Even Arjun, the one I liked the most. He chose you. So when we went on that trip, I saw the perfect opportunity to get you out of my way. I grew up in Uttar. I knew that the place we were going to was inhabited by Masan. That's why I took you deep inside the forest, to a place where it was strictly forbidden to go. If someone makes noise in that forest or desecrates that place, Masan never lets them go. I knew all of this. That's why I left you there alone and came out of the forest. You left my daughter to die. I will definitely take you to the police. You will be punished for your crimes. You can't harm me, Auntie. You may not know, but the law doesn't recognize ghosts. You can't prove a single thing, no matter what you do. You can't ruin anything for me. Anshika stepped forward. You used to hate me so much. Now watch. I'll be the one to get you thrown out of the office. I've recorded your little confession, and I will definitely give it to the boss. Hearing this, Purna's confidence vanished, but there was still no sign of regret on her face. Within a few days, Prerna was fired from the office. Years have passed since this incident, but even today, Anshika is afraid of making new friends. You just never know when someone you trust will betray you. Hey guys, thanks for watching this story. You know, we love making scary stories, but I want to share a truly scary statistic with you. 98% of the people who watch our videos have not subscribed to our channel. So, if you're one of those 98%, please do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. Friends, how did you like our video? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked the story, please hit that like button. Your likes really boost our enthusiasm. And please, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you'll get to see our most terrifying upcoming stories first. Thank you so much for your love and for watching our story.